Robel Lozaget. Robel is the son of Miss Yetti Esatu of Alexandria, Virginia. Robel has been in attendance at the academy since the 7th grade and has a cumulative GPA of 4.602. He also served as this year's battalion commander. Robel will be attending the University of Virginia in the fall. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for our class of 2022. At this time, I will now recognize the Academy's valedictorian for the class of 2022. At this time, it is now my pleasure to recognize the valedictorian for the class of 2022. This year's valedictorian is Cadet Robel Lozaget of Alexandria, Virginia. Robel is the son of Miss Yetti Esatu of Alexandria, Virginia. He's been in attendance at the Academy since the 7th grade and has a cumulative GPA of 4.602. Cadet Lozaget also served as this year's battalion commander. He will be attending the University of Virginia in the fall. Robel, I know I speak for many when I say that we are proud of all you've accomplished your last 6 years at FUMA. This moment has been a long time coming. The podium is now yours, sir.
Good morning, President Coggins, faculty, staff, families, cadets, and those being celebrated today, the class of 2022. I'm beyond grateful to have this opportunity to speak to you today as the valedictorian of the Academy. First, I would like to thank God for giving me my loving mother who sacrificed so much for me to be here today, as well as the family and friends of my life who supported me through my 6 years at FUMA and have instilled the values in me that have gotten me this far and I'm proud to live by. To my fellow seniors in the class of 2022, this is the day. From the moment we first stepped on campus, we felt it. For some, it was fear and worry. For a few others, it was excitement and joy. But unless you were a military brat or surprisingly into discipline, it makes sense that getting your hair chopped off, wearing a uniform, routine inspections, and daily marching would have struck an uneasy feeling in your mind. Regardless of what we felt, the fact that we were here made it evident. And to every student sitting in front of me, this moment is evidence that we've overcome the challenge we call 14 Military Academy, marking the end of an era. Whether you've been here since pre-algebra like myself or Gavin DeMoro, or you've only been at the Academy for a short time, it's undeniable that we've done something that the majority of high schoolers cannot. Listening to Gunny yelling, "Wake up," and your cuts are off, at every blistering hot parade practice, having Colonel Moss's areas of improvements drilled into our minds every Friday morning at Commandant's Call, and listening to the night tax repeat themselves a million times in the announcements at night when all you want to do is sleep, are just a few of those hundreds of things that separate you from the rest. And all the challenges that we face together are what have given us the right to call each other brothers. On the topic of brothers, everyone's heard about the FUMA Brotherhood at some point during their time here. And I believe that the Brotherhood in our graduating class is as strong as it's been in any other. I know ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, we've lost a lot of old cadets and gained many new ones. Because of that, some people worried that the fire of the FUMA Brotherhood would die out. I actually believe the opposite occurred. Especially since we stayed on campus last year without any leaves until Thanksgiving break, we had endless time to learn about each other. One moment that I'll never forget was when our PG basketball team this year beat Hargrave by 3 points during our annual Christmas tournament. The immeasurable excitement that filled the building that day made it feel like we just won a world championship. Hundreds of fellow cadets jumping in the post-game huddle, busting out dance moves I've never seen before, showed just how happy we were to see our brothers win, and it filled my heart with joy to know that our spirit was still alive. Living with each other 24/7 has brought us many unexpected experiences, and even if we weren't personally connected all the time, Swale's Daily Bugle would manage to deliver whatever you were missing out on. Those moments of laughter, fighting, and tears shared in the barracks that are unique only to us are more than enough to consider us all brothers, and for that I thank you. Now, I've been here a long time and therefore have had enough experiences to reflect on my journey here and what important values at this school have impacted my life. And don't worry, it's not one of the 5 core values you've heard at nearly every FUMA ceremony up until now. What I've taken away from here that I think is essential going into the future is the importance of having a moral code. With how inflexible the daily schedule is, it seemed easy to get caught up in the stress of it and lash out at others. Especially during the dark ages of the winter, that feeling appeared to consume most people on campus. But during those times, there was always people to lift those in the darkness out into the light. It wasn't always students either. I know many staff and faculty members may score a bad reputation among cadets because of their attitude and demeanor, or as some would happily give you 2 weeks of ED without a second thought. But the problem is that some people let the bad overshadow the good far too often. Something I strongly wanted to address is the efforts of the adults on campus that have helped make a positive impact on cadets' lives. The ones that cared went out of their way to teach us how to work together, love each other, and reach out a helping hand in times of need. They were the ones that offered advice to keep you from straying off the right path. Some of them are even people I consider to be more than just mentors, but even friends. They'd make sure that you were working hard, but knew when it was time to take a step back and understand that we live very demanding lives. From them, I learned that I wanted to be that person who could be the light in the darkness for someone else. A person someone could lean on, but also push that individual to strive for better and ultimately become someone who's successful and can in turn set someone else up for success. And for those lessons, I'm forever grateful. That prompts me to ask all of you, who do you want to be? What impact do you want to make? And how can you change someone else's life? Now, I want to look to the future. Sure, we'll be gone from FUMA and just become a chapter in its book of over 120 years of history. But that doesn't mean our journey's over. What's ahead of us is an unpredictable sea of life. Most of us have heard that if we use all the skills we've learned here, that we'll make it somewhere far in life. And the common thought after that is probably something like, making my bed every day is it gonna make me a millionaire, and marching every day is it gonna make me a pro athlete. Sure, a lot of the habits we practice here will be left behind, and that's only natural. But other habits like time management, respect for your coworkers, and understanding that there are consequences to every action, whether they're good or bad, are things that you should take along your journey. This academy isn't a place where you're going to succeed by simply being here. You and I have seen many cadets, some of them being really good people, end up leaving the academy mid-year just because they weren't fit for the place. You ultimately made it here by applying yourself day in and day out and following the difficult guidelines set before you for a better future. Going forward, I want to ask you to work to become a better version of yourself every single day. Every change you make doesn't have to be noticed by others either. Baby steps are fine. I won't be the first to tell you this, but life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. So take as much time as you need to perfect your craft and be proud of who you'll eventually become. Now, on behalf of the class of 2022, I'd like to express my thanks to every single member of the FUMA family here today. To all the teachers, coaches, Commandant's Department staff, administrators, maintenance workers, and even the brand new Sage Dining Hall staff. You've worked to create a place that I've grown to love and will never be able to forget for the rest of my life. I'd like to extend specific words of thanks to a few other staff members. First and foremost, thank you, Coach Brown, for introducing me to the world of track and field, teaching me how rewarding hard work is and that anybody can make a difference. Thank you, Ms. Schnelly. You gave me the greatest class experience I could ever ask for, and on top of that, you taught me how to be a better person and treat others the right way. Thank you, Major Leidig. You were with me and always watched my back from the time I was only 13 years old until I was your company commander and now an adult. Thank you, Petty Officer Warren. You only came in last year, but managed to make one of the largest impacts in my life. Your dedication to the Corps Cadets is unmatched. You give it more of your heart than anyone could ever ask for, even though your physical heart doesn't allow you to. And lastly, thank you, Mrs. Jones. You've been a large part of the FUMA family for as long as I could remember. You've worn many hats on campus and created a home for students that fostered a special bond. You devoted your love to us like no one ever has, and even though you won't be with the FUMA family going forward, you'll forever be remembered in our hearts as one of the brightest stars the campus has ever seen. Now, as I'm standing here before all of you, I'll reiterate that this is a day to rejoice. Some of us will never see each other again, and others will keep in touch until our dying days. A flurry of emotions fill this space we stand in today, and some people don't know what it is. That's okay, we felt it before. Regardless of what you feel, make sure you spend this time with your loved ones, because this moment is special. It recognizes not only your own achievements, but the the work of those who have raised and influenced your life all these years. Now, I'd like to express my gratitude for the last time to the class of 2022. Without you all, I wouldn't be able to stand here today as the person I'm proud to be and speak to everybody here. Through the good and the bad and the ugly, I just want to say I love you all. After this, we'll finally walk the stage that's been in our reach for the last 9 months and become alumni. I can confidently say that nothing I experience in the future will compare to the memories you've given me, and I hope you all feel the same way. What FUMA's given me for the last 6 years will stick with me in every chapter of my life, and it will forever live inside of my heart as I keep moving forward to the end. Thank you.
Thank you for a wonderful speech, Rebel. Miss Esatu, you should be proud.
I am.
Is it her birthday?
Yeah.
Miss Esatu, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.